Today, we're knitting for cancer patients. We are crafting for a cause. This is a knit-a-thon. Welcome to the knit-a-thon. Daily knitting every day at 9 o'clock in the month of November in support of the American Cancer Society. And your donation to my fundraiser goes straight to the American Cancer Society and all of their research and education and information for cancer patients and cancer research, all the things. But you also sponsor an item to be knitted by me in the knit-a-thon at 9 o'clock or after hours for our overflow project. And those cozy comfort items go to a cancer patient going through chemotherapy. So your donations mean so much. They mean so much. So today in our knit-a-thon, the project that I'm working on is sponsored by Laura. Thank you, Laura. We have sponsors every day for all the projects that I'm working on. And I want to share with you, check this out. Our calendar is full for November. That is amazing. Sponsors are awesome. But it doesn't mean that you still can't donate because you can. We have an overflow tracker and we have sponsors on the overflow tracker as well. Thank you, Bernice, for sponsoring. Thank you, Carolyn, for sponsoring. We have all this space on the overflow tracker so you can still donate. And just to give you an idea of the items that you can sponsor a cozy chemo beanie, a cozy chemo scarf, or a bookmarker for the reading enthusiasts as they're going through their treatments and they want to read a book. They have a bookmarker which we are crocheting and knitting flowers as the bookmarkers. They're so cute. They are so, so cute. And I also want to just share with you our fundraiser journey. I think that is so cool. It's so cool. Just to show you that God's not done yet. Our initial goal was $500. We have met the $500 goal. And now the new goal is $700. We are so close to meeting that new goal as well. This is amazing. Good morning, Kelly. Thank you for tuning in and watching with us this morning. Hopefully, you're having a great Tuesday. Let's get started on this project. So, the project that we're working on today is going to complement the project that we worked on yesterday. So we're using the same colors, the same like mint green yarn. This is a Burnett yarn. I don't have the label, but it's a Burnett. And then we're using this, I guess you can say teal color. Let's see what it says, what color they call it. I don't see the color. Oh, yeah, real teal is the name of this. This is really pretty. So we're using both of these together for today's project. Today's project is going to be a cozy chemo scarf, an infinity scarf. All the scarves that we make are infinity scarves thus far. I think it's going to stay that way because I love being able to double them and have like a neck cowl. I think it's just comforting. I like it. So this is where we are. I got a head start. Yes, I got a head start. So I wanted to try to get going in hopes to complete the project on the live. I said that last time with my head start, and I still didn't because I kept talking. And I need to get started or continue. So we're alternating colors on this, and let me just bring you in closer to the project here. I am right now at a place where I'm changing the color to this teal, and I have been doing 20 rows of each color. We are at row 120 right now. So we have 100 more rows to go. So I'm going to pull both of those strings in the color change so that I can make sure that that color change catches. And we're going to keep going. 20 rows of each color. I think I'm just going to continue to alternate it back and forth, 20 and 20 of each color, just to see how that goes, if we have enough yarn to get to the end of the 2020 pattern. Hi, Susie. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us on the live. So good to see you. We are creating a scarf today. It's a cozy scarf. Oh no, so you're having issues with the lives freezing? Um, it could be a combination of my connection and your connection. In full transparency, I am broadcasting live on a wireless. I'm using Wi-Fi, so I don't have a hard Ethernet connection. That could be it. My apologies if it's coming from my end. With technology, you just sometimes you never know. Hopefully, it works out for you and you're able to catch um, most of it. But I'm glad you're here. So I'm going to 140 on this next color. I'm just going to tie up these color change ends to close that gap. And we will have several strings to mend on the inside once we're finished because of the color change back and forth. This is my first time doing stripes all the way through a project. But with this knit at 9, this daily knitting, this is new for me in using this circular knitting machine right here. So everything that I do, that I have done live with you, has been new for me as well. We're learning together. So we're at 138. Two more rows on this color before we change the color. This is the last one right here. And I'm gonna put it and bring in this color. Holding both of the ends just to make sure it catches. And I have noticed when I use this color, I don't know if you see this right here, I have to make sure that the stitches actually go under this little red bump here. So I'm going to pull this a little tight as well. Definitely have to watch on this yarn because it gets kind of finicky and doesn't want to slide all the way down. So on this one, we're going to 160. But I think in the first few rows is where it sometimes doesn't want to slide down. But now, after those rows are gone or past, it goes pretty good. I actually need to roll this up just to make sure that my stitches don't come off or don't drag. The combination of these two yarns is definitely a difference in the fibers. This teal one is a lot thicker, and this mint green color is um, is a bit more delicate. So we're at row 150, and we're going to 160 on this color because we're doing 20 rows of each color. Good morning, Pam. Good to see you today. Hopefully, you're having a great Tuesday. Oh, Pam, did you have off for Veterans Day or did you work yesterday? Did not have off. So I just actually felt a little knot run through my fingers, and I wasn't quick enough to catch it and check it out, but it knitted up in here okay. Now I'm at row 159. This would be row 160 right here. Now it's time to change the color again. We're going to 180. Pam, when does your yarn come in? Does your yarn come in today for your scarf? Or is it this weekend? Tomorrow is my off day, so I think I'm going to use a gift card that I've had for Joanne for quite some time. I've not had a need for anything, but I want to go and look at more yarn now. I think I need to do that tomorrow. For some more bright colors. Ooh, that's exciting! Yay! Oh, that's exciting if it's going to arrive today. If you if you get it tonight, are you gonna cast on and start, or are you gonna wait until a fresh day or even the weekend? If it were me, I would probably do a cast on at least. But that's just me. I get excited. I get excited. Oh, that's good to know. Hobby Lobby has yarn on sale. You know, I haven't been to Hobby Lobby in too long, in so long. I need to go and get some of the yarn that you mentioned. I love this yarn. I need to go get some of that and try it in the machine, especially since you had such a good experience with it. And that hat you made was gorgeous. So this is 180. And this color change is going to take us to 200. And see that same stitch. We're going to go under. I have to force it under. Yeah, so I may make a trip to Hobby Lobby as well. I'm definitely going to Joanne because I have a gift card there. Um, so I'll go to Joanne first, and then I'll go to Hobby Lobby and see what that sale looks like. I have the Hobby Lobby app. No, is it Hobby Lobby? No, Michaels. I'm thinking of Michaels. I have the Michaels app and the Joanne app on my phone. And I love to use it on my phone because it always has coupons in there. Does Hobby Lobby have an app? I don't know if they do or not. If they do, I don't have it. I need to check and see if they have an app because they probably have coupons associated with the app if they do have it. Ooh, you did good. So those 15 skeins that you bought, Kelly, were they all I love this yarn? Or did you get a different brand as well? One of my favorite brands, I think, is Lionheart because they have so many different. They have such a big variety. The homespun started out as my favorite because it's kind of chunky. Lion brand homespun chunky would be really good for your sweater, Pam. I'm sorry, your scarf. The Lion brand homespun yarn, it's kind of chunky. I don't know if it's the bulky six, but it is a bulky yarn. Not as good as Michael's or Joann's. When you say not as good, are you saying the app? Right, we're 197, so let's get to 200 so that I can do a color change. Actually, yeah. Um, let's see. 199, last one, 200. Okay, so this last row for 220, or not last row, this last group of 20 stitches is actually the same color as the beginning row. And I want them to be a continuous alternating color. So I think I'm going to do, instead of 220, do 240 if I can. So I can have that continuous alternating pattern. Okay, the app. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's probably why I never downloaded it. I can't remember, but it makes sense. Pam says it is exciting. Have to catch up with Kelly and her beautiful hat she done. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna do the cast on tonight. Awesome. I'm curious to see the color colors that you're using. And yes, Kelly's hat was gorgeous. These are unboxed. I'm gonna go with this one. Actually, this teal going down. Hopefully, I can do 20 rows. Let's see. Let's move this paper. get more out of this yarn. If you can see it, the left hand side of the screen is getting thin. Okay, we're at 218. I think we'll make it. Yep. Yes. Perfect. Okay, so we're at 220. This is the number of rows that I normally do for my scarves. But since we're doing this color change, I just want to make sure that I have alternating colors all throughout the whole scarf. In order to do that, push that back under there. I need to do one more group of 20 on this mint green because I started with the teal. And I just have to end with the different color. And after these 20 rows, we'll be able to add the waist yarn. Awesome. So I'm going to 240. Let's close this one. I'm rocking the whole green box. This mint green yarn is so delicate. I'm curious to see what that would be like in a full cozy beanie. My last skein of this yarn, though. I don't have enough to knit a beanie. Okay, 38, 39. This is the last row for 40. And yeah, this is the last row for 40. And I'm just going to do a couple of rows of this so that when I mend the color, when I mend the scarf, it will have the stitch will be the same color as this side. And I won't have that line of a different color going across. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm just going to do a few of these. Now I can leave the long tail for the mending. So I'm just going to measure about twice around. And then cut it. I'm going to put this tail on the inside. And now we're coming in with our waist yarn. Just a few rows of the waist yarn, which helps us take the project off of the machine. And it also helps us to see the stitches a lot better. doesn't matter how many rows we do of the waste yarn, just at least 3 so that it's enough to hold on to. But I usually do like 4 or 5. I'm just gonna go around. This yarn keeps getting tangled here. Okay, so now that's enough of that waste yarn. So we're going to put that in the middle as well, in the middle of the machine. So this is our last row. So now I'm going to do 2 more crates around, and the project is going to be released from the machine. So now let's move the machine out of the way so that we can stitch this up. Taking off the brackets. And let's clean up our marks from the machine. Alcohol gets it right up. So we do have several ends that we have to mend on the inside. And let's go ahead and do that now. All these color changes. This is the long tail end. Look how cute. The first thing that I think of is Dr. Seuss for some reason. Makes me think of Dr. Seuss. So all of these ends, we're going to tie them and cut off the excess. So the first tie, we're just going to do it a bit loose, but then the next 3, we're going to do tighter. And then I'm just going to cut it off until it's about an inch or so. Since this is going to be all on the inside, then I don't have to weave in the ends, which is pretty cool. Okay, so I think that's all the ends that we need to mend. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on the right side, the correct side. And we can see it. Oh, look how cute. I'm just going to stretch it. The end that we're going to mend, like this is the end that has the long piece, and that's actually going to be on the bottom. So I'm going to flip it this way. I'm going to get this waist out of the way. Tuck that. Oh, wait. I forgot to tie this one. This was that last change at the end. Of course, that will go on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to get my thick darning needle. Thread it. And we're going to attach this. Try to get all these ends out. Okay. So when we're doing the scarf, the very first stitch that we make is going to be on the same side. I'm going to bring this closer. So on the same side, what we're doing is mending these together, and we're going to stitch all the way around to connect it. And this very first stitch that we're going into is going to be the same side as the scarf, and it's going to be this one right here. This is why I love using waist yarn, because the bar stitches on the right side are the stitches that we're going into, and it's so much easier to see when you have the waist yarn. If you're using a similar color or not using waist yarn at all, it's hard to see those stitches. So we're going in that one first, and then we're going to alternate back and forth. Okay. It's fiddly at first, but once you get going, it's okay. So we go into the last stitch and into the next stitch. I'm trying not to tie up this waist yarn. Okay. So I'm going to bring this closer so you can see. Into the last stitch and into the next stitch. And then on this side, into the last stitch and then into the next. Let's get that out of there. And that's what we're doing all the way around. And that's why I wanted to end the scarf with the same color as this, so you won't see that prominent line of color change going around. I guess it's not a bad thing. It's just a preference. Thank you, Kelly. I like these colors together. I like all the colors together. I honestly think anything looks good together if you have, some type of a pattern. Even if you don't have a pattern, if you're just doing blocks of color changes, I think that looks good too because I will be doing that with a lot of the extra small balls that I have, remaining yarn from previous projects. That's going to be a project in and of itself. Just putting all of those small balls together. Uh-oh, I think I did two on one side. That's okay. Still gathered together, closing up all the gaps. So on our very last day in November, here I am talking about the last day. We're not even at the middle yet. But if you notice on the calendar that we have, the very last day, it doesn't show a project. I'm thinking on that last day, I'll just use it to show the projects that we've created. I'm not sure exactly, but I want to use it as a bit of a different live, not a project live. Or maybe we'll use that live to do the drawing for the prize for the sponsors. Yeah, I think maybe I'll do that. Yes. What suggestions do you have for the last day of our live? Right now, I'm thinking it will be the prize drawing day and maybe showing some of the completed sets and completed singles. Sets meaning hat and scarf sets. Singles meaning, of course, scarves or hats that don't have a match. This particular scarf that we're doing now is inspired by this hat that we did yesterday. Let me see, I'm going to show it closer. This is the hat that we did yesterday. So this person, of course, has the option to wear it all the way down or fold it, but it has those corresponding colors. And both of these projects were actually sponsored by Laura. When I did the last scarf, I think it was the last scarf, the one that we had to mend after the hole. On that scarf, I used a crochet hook to mend the two ends together with just a slip stitch. And that went really fast. I think I'm going to try that again, maybe on the next scarf to mend it together with a crochet hook instead of the darning needle. Doing it with the crochet hook, it leaves like a thicker cord, like kind of like a braid. It looks like a braid if I use the crochet hook, and it looks like a twist if I use the darning needle. Here I am associating it with hair. Hey, it's Crafts and Curls on my channel here. Hopefully you can see okay. Let's turn on some music. We have made it to the end. So we know we're at the other end if I have both stitches right across from each other. So I'm just going to take this darning needle out so that we can start to remove our waste yarn here. So this waste yarn is just going to be ripped off. Get this tail out of the way. I love removing waste yarn. Of course, I'll have to roll this ball back up for the next time we make a scarf. So cool. One down, one to go. The waste yarn on this side is takes a little bit longer, but not too bad. I just have to first take out the cast on row. And let's see. So after I take off that cast on row, then I can rip it. Okay, where's the short end? This is the short end. Hey, waste yarn is gone. So now we just have to weave these. Let's stretch this back out. So on both of these ends, I'm going to weave this in and out, in and out. I'm just going to weave it in and out a little bit on this side. Before I cut the majority of it. And then I'm going to take this in and weave it to the other side. Just to pull it inside of the project so that it can be absorbed inside. Stretch that. And do the same thing with this one. Leave it in and out. To the other side. And then weave it in to absorb it into the scarf. And then stretch it back out. And we are done. Let's flatten this so we can see what we have here. Awesome. Check out our scarf, our infinity scarf. I'll show it to you on this side of the camera. And then let's show it this way so we can see the whole thing. Thank you, Laura, for sponsoring this project. So this is a set with this. And I think on the last day of our live, when we do the raffle, I'll also show some of the sets that we have. Oh, let's add the tag. I always forget about the tag. Let's add the tag today. This direction. Just going to use my crochet hook to pull this through. Just so we can tie a bow. Awesome. Yay. Getting the head start today really helped us be able to finish this project, this scarf, by within the hour, within our knit at 9. Thank you, Kelly. I love the way it came together as well. Thank you, Pamela. I love the way it showed up and came together. Awesome. Until next time, Janet, Janae, and Addie behind me are saying bye for now.